Today I want to talk about gaining trust. Gaining trust meaning, how do you gain trust online, or how do you gain trust, in a crowded market? See, there's a lot of people who are simply not understanding how to actually gain someone's trust. How do you get that know, like, and trust factor with other people if you're not doing it in person? Like, it's really easy to go up to someone and shake their hand and be like, hey, what's going on, and have a conversation with them, sit down with them and start to get to know someone. But online, it's very different, right? And so the question is, how do you gain trust online? How do you stand out from the competition? Because a lot of the techniques that used to work when things were not as crowded as they are today are not as effective as they used to be. And so when we think about things that are working and not working, we have to go back to the principles of what makes something work, what makes a technique work, what makes you actually move someone from a prospect to become a buyer. And so in the online space, one of the big techniques a lot of people have used is these things called webinars, traditional webinars. A traditional webinar is simply, when you have a web presentation and you use something called a one-to-many technique. A one-to-many technique is simply just me one time sharing my process, my way of doing business, my techniques to you in a format so that I don't have to continue to do it one-on-one anymore, which is fun and awesome. And it's a great technique, but the way that people have done it traditionally is starting to make the market very jaded on what a webinar is. And it's not working as well anymore. And people aren't showing up for these webinars anymore because they think it's a waste of time. And this brings me to the biggest point of what actually creates trust online. And when we think about creating trust online, it's about a couple different factors. Number one is we have to demonstrate our expertise. Like, we have to get people to understand that we are the expert who can help them solve a problem. And if you are not coming off as that expert, when you're not demonstrating that and you're doing something that is just more marketing or sales heavy, you don't actually demonstrate that expertise. You actually just waste people's time. And if you're wasting someone's time, then that's gonna be a big issue when it comes to moving them into a sale. Because what ends up happening is people don't want their time to be wasted. If someone is wasting your time, there is just no way that you're going to want to do more business with that person. And so we need to think about marketing in a different format. We need to think about, how are we going to get someone to get a result with us, get a win with us, get momentum with us, so they want to do more with us. And so a way that you can think about doing a one-to-many approach is doing something where you create a real promise to someone who's going to show up and spend time with you, to actually respect that person enough that you're going to actually deliver something in a micro result or in a small fashion that's going to actually get someone specifically to get some sort of result, and give them a really good sample of what it's like to actually work with you. See, one of the big things that we're doing in our business is we use the sampler approach. Very similar to how supermarkets do it in person, where you go around and you get all this free food. Because if you get something for free and you try it, like free food from a supermarket, and you like it, you're way more likely to then buy a box of that food. But if you don't ever try it, there's so much other food in the market that if you know about it, you'll probably buy it. If you don't know about it, you'll never have the opportunity to actually try it on. And same with the online space. There's so many people online, and if you're not known, if you don't have some, like, a track record, or if you are newer, or you just haven't got the traction that you want, you need to give someone an opportunity to try you on, meaning they need to sample your stuff. But we don't want to sample our stuff in a way that actually, is just marketing. We want to sample our stuff in a way that actually gets people some sort of micro result. The question is, does it actually make sense for them to spend time with you? Does it feel good for them to actually spend time with you? Do they actually get something out of it? And that's the big thing, is most people create content for people just to create content. And I want to shift your perspective around this. I want to shift your perspective about the new way that I believe marketing is going into. The free content is not the perspective of free anymore. I want you to think about marketing as a sample into what it's like to work with you. And you don't have to create anything for free. You just want to give a behind the scenes look of, hey, this is what we do, this is how we do it, and here's what I'm going to do with you today so that you can have a free sample of what it's like to work with me. And so that's what we do in our business. That's what we do in our events, is we give someone a look behind the scenes of what it's actually like to work with us, what it's actually like to actually get a result with us. Because again, going back to the question before, are you more likely to work with someone and pay them your money if they get you a result, or less likely to give them money if they give you a result? The answer obviously is you're way more likely to give someone money if they give you some sort of result in advance, of course. So what that means for you is I want you to start thinking about, how are you demonstrating your expertise? How are you demonstrating your credibility? How are you demonstrating your authority in the way that you create your content, in the way that you actually get people to sample your stuff? Because it's not about making more videos, it's not about making more posts, it's not about being something that you don't want to be. It's about intentionally creating something specific that is going to give someone momentum, progress, or a win towards what it's like to work with you. Because when we do our events, it's like we workshop things together. I want to show you what it's like to actually get a result with me. And if you like what we do and you like our vibe, then great, you're gonna wanna work with us. If you don't like our vibe, great, then you don't like our vibe, but you got the free sample. Similar to the perfume, similar to the makeup you might be trying on, similar to the free food, similar to a gym that gives out free trials. We wanna do the same thing online because it's a crowded space now. And so if you're not giving someone a free sample, what you're doing is just giving out fluff. You're giving out stuff and you're hiding your good stuff. And I understand you don't want someone to rip you off. I get that. I totally understand that. But at the same time, you can do it in a way that gives someone one step further towards getting a result or an outcome that they want. So let me give you a quick example for what we do. So we have an event coming up. The way that we structure this event is we have 4 different sections for running online events. There's designing it, there's filling it, there's monetizing it, and then there is running it. So on our event together, what we're gonna do is we're gonna design your event specifically. Like, design the whole thing for you. You're gonna come in with no design. You're gonna leave with a full-on design of what your event's about, what's the outcome that you're gonna get, the outline of what you're gonna do, who do you want in attendance, and you're gonna know exactly what you're gonna do for an online event to give someone a micro win, to give them a win and fulfill on your promise. Once you get that, our coaching program can help you as well with running it, filling it, and monetizing it. So you just got this great win with me, and you got this great sample with me. And now you're like, I'm feeling great. I just did all this work with you. I feel awesome because you actually worked this with me and I gave you a free sample. And now you're probably gonna wanna keep moving forward if you're the right person, of course, because of the natural ascension of what you want to keep doing. A body in motion continues to stay in motion. A body at rest continues to stay at rest. And so your opportunity here is to do something similar in your space. So the question I have for you is thinking about, not can I build trust online, it's how can I deliver a small result that's gonna get someone to move forward with what they're doing, and on top of that, leave enough room so that when they get that micro result, there's more that they wanna do.